Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. So, this is what we're going to pick up with Bellum. That was a very rough experience. You were literally just going to try to finish off your... I mean, this hasn't been an easy journey as it is. It just hasn't been. It's been long. Right. It's been arduous, and you're finally coming to near the close of it, going to them to learn what it is that you need to learn. And unfortunately, that happened. But that's okay. You're so close to the end. What's a few more days or whatever else it might take, right? You finally come back into the city, and you just need a drink. And so you ask somebody, where's the closest tavern I can get to? And you go walking into the tavern, and as you walk in there, you see that there's one guy literally passed out cold, flat out, on the bar, lying there passed on the bar. And so immediately you're probably thinking, oh, someone's really drunk. But then you see a whole group of people, like the whole bar is more or less empty. Sounds like two people sitting at a table, kind of having their own conversation aside. Everybody's in a group over by the bar itself, a little bit away from the guy that's passed out. A few of them really nursing a huge bruise in the side of the head. One of them's still spitting up a little bit of blood, and he's got 3 teeth in his other hand. You know what I mean? They're all having this angry conversation amongst one another. And you can see with the way the tables are moved and whatnot, there was clearly a bar fight that happened in here. This is that was an interesting thing to come across. It was already a little strange that there was a building kind of toppled
blown
next
up.
door, but whatever. I mean, maybe it was just demolition. Who knows? But now you see a huge bar fight happened in here. It's an interesting town. So what do you do when you first walk in and kind of take all this in? Everybody looks at you quickly for a second because you're not a small person. They look at you quickly for a second, and then they just think nothing else of you. I know that it's semi-visible, your mark. It's only semi-visible, but not super. So yep. So they just kind of go back to ignoring you. Even the person is clearly the bartender. He's got an apron on. Clearly the bartender just kind of looks over to see you and then just ignores you and continues their angry conversation.
So I sit at the opposite end of the bar and I wait for
So you're sitting
30
right
seconds.
Next to the passed out guy.
Yeah, right next to the passed out. He's right here,
Yeah.
and I'm just sitting there, and I wait 30 seconds, and I try to make eye contact with him,
Mm-hmm.
and the bartender clearly you said, he sees me, and then just goes back to his own, and I'm just is this not a bar?
Oh,
Do you not serve alcohol?
He kind of holds up his hand for a second, and he's like to everybody else, stop for a second. He kind of makes his ways around. He's like, yeah, dude, it's a bar. Sorry, it was a. People came in here. There was a dispute. I don't know. It doesn't matter. One of the people was like, people came in here. It was these crazy people. One of them blew up a building next door. Clearly a terrorist. The other one's monologuing forever. It was one of those things where this person literally said monologuing, and they do not look like a person that should know that word. Person monologuing forever about floating many-eyed things in blowing up ships and stuff like that. Clearly crazy people, and then
right then and there, he's
best
wait,
monologues.
wait, go back to the many eyes thing. What did you say?
Oh, it's the crazy person. Before he just dropped a bunch of people, started talking about a many-eyed thing and the gems blowing up their ship.
Which way did they go?
Well, Kieran de Lierendar is staying at the tavern across the street.
He'll nod to that, and he'll look over past the bar, and he'll grab a bottle of whiskey. The bartender's cleaning out his glass or whatever. He grabs the bottle of whiskey, puts a couple of gold down, and goes thanks, and just turns around and walks out towards the hotel.
As you walk out, your character is actually perceptive. You hear somebody say, "That's the 3rd bottle today," and somebody else is like, "Hey, can I start?" No, you can't.
I imagine it's the bottle that Reich left, the full bottle behind that Reich left.
They didn't leave the bottle. I know what you're talking about. But yeah. He left it at the inn, not
At the
Oh,
Yeah.
Fair.
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I go walking across the street.
You walk across the street, so it's called Duck Feathers. It's clearly an inn. And so you go walking into Goose Feathers. Goose Feathers, you're right. It is Goose Feathers. That is what I
They
said.
changed
Thank you,
their
Ollie.
name, all right? They're going in the new direction.
Oh. They heard that people knew Kieran was there, completely changed.
They heard the people didn't know what a goose was, but ducks, They're easier.
Ducks are a new thing.
So you go walking into Goose Feathers, and the innkeeper there is like, "Oh, sorry, sir, we're full up tonight. If you want to pay just a couple of copper, we do have a few blankets on the floor down in the wine cellar, but you can't be stealing any ale while you're down there."
Well, first entertain this thought. Is there a Kieran de Lirendar staying here?
I don't know her name, but there's a woman with that, Hey, you have, are you Lirendar too?
He just, shakes his head and goes, that doesn't matter. He puts down, 2 copper, and he goes, I'm going to sit here and wait. Point her out when she comes in.
Oh, I heard her and her friends there talking about going to, a really tall red one, talking about going to see the guards. You would just want to wait till she comes back? No problem. I won't point her out though. She doesn't need to know that I'm the one telling her where. You'll know she's got a magic thing on her face.
He just starts nodding mid sentence, and he's just like, fair. And he pulls up a chair and puts it right next to the desk and just sits staring at the door.
Okay.
That's not creepy.
Oh, it's fucking creepy.
So you guys are making your way to the inn. To the barracks to speak to them. When after 20 minutes pass, Bellum, the guy kind of because it's been awkward silence and they're just you and him for a while. He eventually breaks the awkward silence and he's like, "You just looking for Kieran?"
He looks and says, well, I heard she was with another at the bar across the street, and they were
Yep, that's the one that
about...
she went to the barracks with.
Yep, well, I'm looking for the 2 of them.
Oh, okay. All right, well, you'll see them when they walk in. He's really tall and really red, and she's got magic thing on her face. Dragon mark on her face.
He nods again to that, and like you said, it's been a few minutes and just awkward silence. So he takes a chair and flips it around and sits with it with the back of the chair in front of him at this point.
AC Slater style. Heard.
AC Slater and just staring at the door.
Absolutely, I love that. Every time I flip specifically pick up a chair, flip it with the wrist, and sit in it all in one motion with the big cowboy arcing leg thing all at once. I always have to say out loud, AC Slater. Every time, I'm always like, AC Slater.
You guys are so fucking cool.
And then I have an aside.
Occurrence is that?
It's 2 at least once a week. At least once a week it'll happen. Now, that's when you have the aside where you do the chair and you sit down and you're like, so this is the moment in my life when I realized. Sorry, done with the old reference. So you make your way to so you're waiting. You guys go to the barracks. When you go walking into the barracks, the person kind of looks up and says, "How can I help the 2 of you? You look familiar."
Yeah, I'm Kieran de Lirendar. I'm wanted for questioning because I was paid explosive gems from House Canada, which I gave to people here whose building exploded.
Okay, he's the guy at the desk.
Yeah, I know, but I don't really
she's
care.
Wanted for questioning. I'm assuming that someone here will question us. I'm also very drunk.
Also, we were attacked tonight by people in the city.
Yeah, your people are not very hospitable.
Which is funny, because they have a lot more fighting than I thought they would, being, from here.
It was not a very good fight, but fight nonetheless.
They tried so hard.
I'm sorry, that was a lot all at once.
A lot of information, yeah, so much information.
Do I see the wanted poster around there?
Yes.
Hanging up?
Yep, right there.
I pointed the wanted poster.
I got that part. It was the rest of it where you kind of lost me.
Oh, yeah, we were attacked. At the bar across the street from the Goose Feathers?
Yeah.
I'm sure you
what
deserved
it's
it.
called.
All right, so
What?
come
What
on,
is it?
come on. I'll bring you to a room to get questioned.
Cool.
And so he walks with you guys down a stairwell. Down a flight of stairs.
And just place the empty bottle on his desk.
He walks down the stairs with you, and opens up a heavy wooden door. And he's like, "You guys can come in here for questioning. There's a torch lit in the wall, so it's lit up. It's clearly it's one of those things where you clearly walk into
How long
a hallway.
is it going to be?
I'm gonna have her come down and question you immediately.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
And then goes over
Try to
because
take
guys
my
are in like a hallway of doors. Opens up one door, and like clearly it's a prison cell. And he's like, "All right, you can wait in here for questioning."
All right, but how long? Because I can teleport out of here, no problem. Just so you know.
It's like, listen,
I
don't know how
literally
dumb
just
you think
answered
we
that
are.
question. So
I will stay the night here, and then if nobody comes, I'm gonna leave. I'm just letting you know in advance.
he just
Is that fine? Okay, cool.
waves towards the
I'll
doorway
go
for you to
into
walk
the
in. And then shuts the door. As he shuts the door, at least one of your passive perceptions high enough to hear him say, "They like to hear their own voices." As he walks out of the place, and several minutes
wrong.
later, the there is the clink of, you can hear clink of the outer door opening. You can hear some boot steps. You hear the clinking of this inner door opening in, and then you see a woman standing there. She's actually young. Woman. She's lithe. She's a half elf, like very clearly a somebody that's very capable, knows combat, very unlike the person that you experienced in the other city. Very capable, understands combat. Like you can just tell in like the measured way that she like moves, like shifts her weight from one foot to the other and everything. It's one of those clearly she seems like she's seen more than her years, or her years of beguiling to what she's actually her actual age is. So, anyways, I'm sorry, I was just reading Will's comment there, shitting on Lagunitas. You're calling them sellouts, but they're still delicious beer.
Meh.
It's still delicious beer.
They've changed their recipes. But
But
meh.
it's
I don't
still
care.
delicious.
I want to play D&D.
Sorry.
So continue on.
Meh.
Like,
We can talk about this later.
But even if they change it's still good. Like,
Continue.
Yeah, so let me be wrong.
We can have this conversation later.
Question the wizard.
So so she stands there, and she's like, a lot has happened since the last time you visited my city.
Yeah, so I've heard. So here's the information you need, and I'll actually pull up the documentation for all of it.
Whoa. He told
I
me
have
you
paper.
like to hear your own voice. Just take it back a step.
But I have
Let me
paper.
let me speak for a second.
All right. Go for it.
You came into my town. You were hired to do a job.
Yeah.
You did your job.
Yep.
You got paid to do your job.
Yep.
You spent some of your pay and you left.
Yep.
That pay was apparently some sort of trap. There was
Yep.
explosion. Not only did it kill a ton of innocent people that happened to be at that shop when it was very busy, but it also exploded your ship.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, it wasn't like it was a very busy shop. This is just what other people are saying. It was literally the middle of the night. The explosion happened in your ship in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
They're all saying it's very busy. Either way, the casualties were two. It was the owner and her son. She was... Anyways, so they died. We assumed that it was your fault, that you were some sort of terrorist. Word came to us on good authority from over at the nearby city where you happen to have struggled your way into port. Apparently, you've been able to provide some sort of evidence that they've believed to be true enough to at least take you in, to speak to you as opposed to just arrest you and attack you, which is what we're doing right now. And they informed
Arresting
me
me,
that...
attacking me?
No. No, that's not what you were saying. Please continue.
Kind of what you said.
And we've come to understand that it's very likely that this person that's paid you was actually the one that's at fault. So we arrested him as well. He is also imprisoned. Before you ask, I'm not stupid. I've heard about your reputation. He is not here in this hallway of doors. He is not
That's very
imprisoned
smart of
here.
you.
Okay?
I wouldn't have sought him out and killed him.
Yeah, that's not what I understand. Literally every other word that you said was murder while you were speaking to the captain of the guard at another city. So I don't believe
Really
you.
upset at the time.
That doesn't change the fact. So understands. I need to hear your side of the story, but I want to know you to know where I'm sitting right now. You could be lying, or you could be telling the truth. Let me know.
Of course. Here you go. And I will fill in all the details. I have the paperwork to collaborate. This is the payment that we received, of course. I have receipts and everything printed, I imagine, because Karen's not really stupid. Um, and so I provided him the receipts for that. I provided him the receipts for the Kundarak loan I took out to repair the ship. And then if you want, like, you can come back to me at the other town and hear all the, evidence of people who were on the ship when it exploded, as well as the person who, had the actual gens on him, who was himself exploded, but he's fine. We fixed him.
He got better.
He's a wizard. He's from Aranel. They have weird magic with death.
Okay. I need to. So she takes all this information, or whatever. She says, "I need to pour through all of this. This is a lot. I don't know how or why this exists, but this pack of papers is a lot. I need to pour through this. As of right now, it is very likely that you're innocent. As of right now, it's very likely that he's innocent. I need to keep both of you, referring, of course, to the wizard, not to Reich. I need to keep both of you...
He was very adamant. Oh, referring to Reich. Okay.
Yeah. Referring to the other guy being innocent, too, is what she was referring to. So she says, I need to keep both of you detained until we finish sussing out the details. So, I'm not going to take any of your equipment, because I'm asking you to stay here without me having to, get all threatening. The two of you are welcome to share a cell, or you can have different cells, but I need you to stay here until I finish getting through at least this pack of papers.
How long is that going to take? I don't mean to rush you along. I just have things to do.
I'm a quick read, and I have other things on my plate. This, of course, is going to kind of jump to the top of that list of things to do. But could you spare me 2 days? I mean, I'm going to get through this before that. But I need to know that. Can you give me 2 days, 48 hours?
Is me staying here?
48 hours is what I'm asking of you. Things could probably resolve before that.
Can you let our companions know at the inn we're staying and that we're here?
If you would like parchment and a quill to draft paperwork, to draft a letter for them, you're welcome to come to my office and draft a letter for them, and I'll have it sent to them.
Okay.
I will draft a letter. Karen, right now, we need... Not you.
Are you questioning?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who you are?
Reich Myrtilon.
Okay, Reich Myrtilon. I heard word of you when I spoke to the other captain of the guard. I heard word of you. You did not blow up a building. You're welcome to leave.
Just go tell Sabo where I am and that I'm fine.
Okay, then I will.
I can get out if I need to be.
To our companions.
I was offering for you to stay if you wanted to. I was offering for you to stay if you wanted to, but you're welcome to leave.
No. I mean, you're still lovely and dingy in all the right places, but I think I'm gonna go stay in the warm bed that I purchased.
Thank you very much. So no letters, no anything. You're just gonna stay in your cell?
Yeah. Well,
I'm
no.
good for now.
Yeah,
He's gonna leave. I'm gonna stay.
Very good.
Because you did ask so nicely.
Thank you, Karen. I have a lot to work through. Just let's resolve this situation, okay?
All right.
Thank you. And so Reich, you do you guys? She gives you like a moment if you want to say anything, but I imagine it's just like a head nod and you walk out.
Yeah, I just look at her and I'll be like, I'll be back by tomorrow to check on you. And I'm gonna leave.
Okay. And so you go to leave. When you go to leave, the other person that happened to be like in this area, the person that originally led you down, just turns and immediately starts like trying to lead you out of the place, though you're not an idiot and can easily walk out. They lead you out.
I just thought.
When you guys are finally out of earshot and whatnot, she turns back to you and says, it's already pretty late, and so dinner has already been served. Do you want scraps, or are you good until morning?
I'll be fine, but thanks.
we'll have food for you in the morning for you to enjoy, okay?
Cool. Sounds good.
Thank you. And so she shuts the cell behind you. She goes to shut the door, and then she opens it slightly and is like, thank you for not, again, I kind of caught wind of how you are. So thank you for not making, this more difficult than it had to be. Do you need anything else? A book to read? Or are you comfortable?
I really am fine, but thank you so much.
Nope, you're perfectly fine. All right. Well, then I hope you enjoy your night's rest. And so she shuts the prison cell and locks it, and then you hear her lock the other door as well and leave. Okay?
By the way, this is why I took gaseous form as level.
Awesome. So, Reich, you make your way back to the goose feathers, and as you go walking in the door, you see that there's another guy sitting AC Slater style on a chair, staring at the door. You guys immediately notice each other. You can see that he recognizes you immediately when you walk in, even though you don't recognize him. Hey, recognize him? Who is he? What does he look like?
Ollie actually provided the picture of my character to chat, but quick synopsis: he has what's that called? I'm lacking a word here.
I have no idea.
Cloak. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
Green cloak?
Yeah, he has a green cloak on.
Do you need
Sorry.
the color too?
No, I had the color. I was
blame
gonna say he has a green, and then just sit there for a second, but that wasn't gonna work. So he has a green cloak on. He has like kind of this messy dark hair. He has like a bit of an underbite, and two of his teeth are kind of poking up a little bit. Underbite's the other way. There you go. He stands up immediately when you see him. When you do, he has this kind of strange looking armor. Don't know if you would know what it is, but it's this weird material and a bow on his back. And he stands up and he looks directly at you, like right in the eye. He goes,
If you're looking for a fight, I'm not in the mood.
and he's gonna be like, "Are you the one that's with Kieran?"
How do you know that name?
He like looks down at the other guy and then looks back at you, and he's like, "I was informed that you guys got in a brawl across the street."
Yeah, she's already in prison.
Well, I don't care about the brawl. I don't care about that at all. They were talking about how one of you were spewing out madness about a creature with multiple eyes.
It's not madness. He killed my friend.
Where did this happen?
In the woods, few miles out. We were traveling here to deal with an unrelated mess when we were ambushed.
He like looks you up and down, and you survived. So you killed it?
Not myself. From my understanding, Kieran and my other companions upstairs felled the creature. I got a few shots off of it with my bow. I was hit by one of its attacks, and it brought me almost to death's door with a single attack. I escaped, hoping my friends would follow, but things did not turn out that way.
Yeah, beholders aren't something you can take lightly. And he looks down at the other guy. He's like, "Why didn't you tell me there were more companions?"
You specifically said you're looking for Kieran and the guy that she left here with.
He like shrugs it off, just like he looks back at Reich, and he's like,
My friends wouldn't have been in the mood to talk anyways. You want to sit down?
he nods.
Hold on one second. I go upstairs and I grab the other bottle of whiskey. And I come back downstairs.
So you come downstairs like with the bottle of whiskey in your hand, and he like reaches back behind him and pulls out his bottle of whiskey and looks at it. He looks at you and says, "Good taste."
I crack it open, realize I realize I don't have any cups, and so I just start swigging out of the bottle.
So as you swig out of the bottle, he actually opens his own bottle and just starts swigging out of his own. He looks at you. He's like, "Well, I'm here to do some of my own work. Part of that work is taking care of any issues with aberrations like a beholder. Seems as though You guys have got yourself into something.
I kind of sit there for a moment, like my mind working much slower than it usually would. I say, "Are you with the lizard-looking creature?"
He like looks at you, kind of like, huh? But
The
then
one
doesn't
with the
start saying
orcs.
anything. Orcs. I've known quite a few orcs.
It's
And
funny
like,
that you're describing him that way because that's not an accurate description.
But
They
he
actually look
looks.
more like you than anything else.
You
no.
described him as
My
a
char-
lizard-looking.
Yeah, you said he looks like a lizard-looking version of me. And my
Oh,
character,
okay.
He
Version
not-
of you. Yes. Okay.
my
Fair.
character would
Fair.
not describe him as looking at it like himself.
Fair.
He'd take that very offensive.
So he's gonna be like, I'm not specifically with a lizard-looking creature, but I have been with many orcs. And he like leans in. He's like, I'm from the Shadow Marshes. So as you can imagine, I've been around quite a few orcs. Druids, are you talking about?
Yeah, there was a group of them in the woods with one of these creatures. They seemed interested in the realm of chaos.
He
Well,
nods
I'm
and says, "Yes. If they are near, those are who I'm with."
These are. Do you know who they are?
I do, but I'm curious if you know who they are.
I understand their mission. It was explained to me it was explained to me at length by one of by their companion, the one I described to you briefly. And during the encounter, he granted me the only thing I could refer to it as is insight. More closely, it was magic, perhaps of the mind. It almost felt like unlocking something that had been in my mind for some time. I can't fully describe it, but he told me that I would take his place at some point. And I just didn't understand, but I'm trying to.
Well, it seems as though you need more information. I
The-
think you'd be better off to meet with them.
they were not too much with information granting, and frankly, after our encounter with them, they quickly not only turned us away, but they also demanded to take the memories of our encounter from my companion.
They must have your companion must have experienced something that they couldn't handle.
From the way they described it, she had some sort of chaotic energy. I don't know. To be honest with you, my specialty is not lie in the realms of magics and playing their energies. I am a warrior and an expert of that which I can see and touch. But I'm trying to grasp these concepts. Traveling with three many casters has changed my perspective a little bit.
He nods and says, "Trust me, I myself am still trying to grasp some of these concepts. It's not something that's weighs easy on the mind. It's not light. It takes some time and it takes a lot of effort. But I'm hopeful that maybe one day I will understand them. Do you know why this beholder attacked you? Was it just wrong place, wrong time?"
That's the only thing I can think of. We held no threat to it. It almost appeared as from nowhere.
He would like interrupt you and say, "Held no threat, yet you finished it.
Well,
You should be proud. The world needs more people like you to protect it."
I don't know if I'm a protector of this world. I'm simply a man who survived. Listen,
He nods.
What question did you have? Questions? I can assure you that any questions you have, I can answer. And
I want
Kieran,
details of the exact accords of this fight, like the deepest details. Do you have those?
I have some of that, and I'll kind of describe it to the best of my ability. The fight from when we started the engagement to when I lost sight of them.
He'll accept it, and he'll actually be pretty nice about it. And he'll say, "Well, it seems as though you might be missing pieces, and I would like to perhaps ask maybe your companions more about this. Some people go off to schools to study. That's not for me. I'm hands-on. I like to learn from the people themselves."
I can tell you that while normally our wizard would be the first to engage in an intellectual discussion with you about this at this point, none of us are quite in the mood. The only reason I'm so talkative is because I have been lubricated for such an encounter, kind of shaking the already quarter missing bottle of whiskey in my hand. And I say, we lost a good friend today, a person who we were very close with, and it will be some time before they'll be willing to talk about the events, but we'll probably be around for a couple days at least.
He'll look at you like emotionless, like everything's very stale except for his eyes, and you could definitely tell that he's like apologetic eyes, like he's looking at you like, "I'm sorry," and he says, "That's unfortunate. Well, time as of right now is okay with me. I've been traveling over a year to get to where I am now, so a couple of days, that's nothing. When you think it's appropriate, I'll have no problem asking you or asking your friends what went on and try to wrap my head around this whole situation. That is, if you don't mind me tagging along."
I mean, we're down a companion,
And then-
and
So then he like interrupts you and he goes, "Wait, did you say your friend's in jail?"
yes, that was the situation we were initially coming here to solve. It's a long story that, frankly, is no interest to you.
Hmm.
I see your dragon mark, right? What's your dragon mark? Like, I don't know what it is because my character.
It's
is
House
person.
Thrusk. So House Thrusk
I have
is.
no idea.
Well, you should know the dragon mark. It's my wife's tattoo. So
I know the dragon
Yeah,
mark.
yeah,
but
so
my
House-
Wait,
character
wait,
doesn't.
Scott, that's Brittany's tattoo?
Brittany's tattoo is House
So
Thrusk.
I went from playing a character that has your tattoo to playing a character that has Brittany's tattue?
Yeah.
I think every mate has got tattoo.
I
That was
didn't-
great
I-
remark, right?
I didn't mean to.
Well, he didn't quite have my tattoo. I have the yeah. I have a decent. I have a
You
big.
gave
Oh, yeah,
yourself
but-
a bigger one.
I have a large dragon mark on my body, so I am
Yes.
that much of a Eberron junkie that I have a
Dragon
large
mark.
dragon mark on my
I
body.
get
Huh?
that down.
What?
Give myself an aberrant dragon mark.
Oh,
Or
okay,
like
that's appropriate.
Full dragon mark or something.
It's appropriate. So anyways, so yeah, the it's almost looks like an arrowhead. Its shape and design almost looks like an arrowhead, the way it kind of like swoops forward, because the whole idea is it's the mark of finding. It's the ability to like kind of like point the arrow north or point the arrow true to the direction that you want to go to. So yeah.
Well, I look at your thing, and I kind of sit there for a moment. I say, you're marked. What
You
house is that?
He like grabs at his armor, and just pulls it to the side to show it a little bit more. Goes, "Yeah, I'm marked. Well, I'm of the clan Torn. House. Well, fucking Detharsk."
I sit there for a moment. I say, is that a good one?
Yeah. I don't know.
I sit there. He's just sit there quietly, and I say, "Are the Kieran is marked? Well, she's Uh, the sailing house. What are they? I don't know. The one with the ships. They fly.
Lavender.
There, yeah, Arendar. Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
And,
Yeah. Fuck that. I don't care about that. She'll prove to me who she is by being who she is, and that's fine with me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's really not much more to say. Frankly, I'm very drunk. Let me go to sleep.
Well, yeah. Perhaps you go to bed, and maybe I'll go down to the guard station in the morning and try to have a conversation with her.
Yeah, she's got time.
Seems as though that's true.
And with that, I stand up, put the cap on the bottle, and just walk back to my room.
As you walk away, like he'll like hold up his bottle, take a swig, cap it, and just walk downstairs instead of upstairs or wherever your room is.